celebrating Nebraska youth with careers on and off the farm. Ahead here on Grow, we'll visit the state FFA convention and learn about the demand for jobs in agriculture. Plus, the University of Nebraska hires from within, and the new chancellor brings a background of cattle to the job. And beef prices at the supermarket are trending down as you're getting ready to grill, but now get ready to grow. Welcome here to NTV's Grow. One of Governor Pete Ricketts' top priorities has advanced in the state legislature. It's now to a final vote as lawmakers advanced a property tax measure designed to benefit Nebraska farmers and ranchers after less than an hour of debate. Grand Island Senator Mike Glor's bill will provide an additional $20 million for tax credits to offset local property taxes on ag land. The vote followed 2 days of filibusters led mostly by Omaha Senator Ernie Chambers. Lawmakers also advanced a measure that's an effort to really let you know where those tax dollars are being spent. Senators voted unanimously for a bill that would require more agencies using state money to make their financial records open to the public. Those records would join those already in the state's spending website, statespending.nebraska.gov. The bill would affect agencies currently not on the state's main accounting system, like the State Fair Board. When it comes to ethanol in the debate for the presidential candidates, you may wonder just where do each of those candidates stand. Bob Dineen, head of the Renewable Fuels Association, says 14 of 16 major candidates expressed support for the federal ethanol mandate. He calls Senator Ted Cruz oil company's favorite son, saying Cruz does not support the RFS.
No surprise there. But even Ted Cruz has gone out of his way to say, look, ethanol is a good fuel additive. He's just opposed to mandates. He wants to work with EPA, and under a Ted Cruz EPA, there won't be the barriers to E15 use that are there today.
John Kasich of Ohio comes from a state with ethanol production. Those in the industry say they feel good about their political position.
Hillary Clinton has certainly expressed strong support for the program, as has Bernie Sanders. And Donald Trump has probably been the most supportive of ethanol.
Make this note, Nebraska's Republican primary is May 10th. Farm opportunities for veterans as they return to civilian life. The USDA has funded similar efforts in the form of farm loans to encourage veterans to purchase land and further educate themselves. At a hearing this last week, it included military veterans' testimony and witnesses involving the Soldier in Agriculture Vocational Education Program in Kansas. And if you want more information, you can visit the USDA website. And now a quick update on crop progress throughout the state. First of all, varied temperatures reported by the USDA. Winter wheat, 51% good, 9% excellent. And when it comes to livestock, cattle and calf conditions reported 75% good. Sheep and lamb conditions, 84% good. And hay comes in at 90% adequate. And the cost of what could be your favorite cut of beef is expected to drop just in time for the summer grilling season. The director of meat operations for Russ's Market expects the price of middle meat cuts such as New York strip, ribeye, and T-bone to decline over the next several weeks. He says, quote, "We are already seeing a downward price trend for ground beef in some of the roasts. It's attributed to a stronger cattle supply. The U.S. Department of Ag expects American consumers to eat more beef in 2016. And Hereford beef is the big feature now at Russ's Market. The store unveiled certified Hereford beef at all locations. The director said the switch to Hereford is an opportunity to give our customers the best possible eating experience. He goes on to say, quote, research by Colorado State University ranked Hereford beef #1 for tenderness, juiciness, and flavor. There's a proposed set of regulation standards when it comes to the welfare of organic meat and poultry. The USDA rules include making sure all livestock and poultry have enough space to lie down, turn around, stand up, and fully stretch their limbs. Beaks should not be removed and tails couldn't be cut. Poultry houses would have to have fresh air and ventilation. April here is all about soybeans. According to the Nebraska Soybean Board, April is Soy Foods Month. The executive director says just a few years ago, they had to do a lot of outreach to make sure stores had tofu on the shelves. A different story today, with about 1/3 of U.S. consumers looking for soy-based products. Soybean officials add studies show those who eat soy foods have lower rates of certain types of cancers, as well as reduced risk of osteoporosis and kidney disease. Now an update on those farms that we told you about down in Kansas and Oklahoma that affected a lot of farms and ranches down there. They are now largely contained, according to officials. Adjutant General's office said crews continue monitoring smoldering patches. At least 2 homes, 1 mobile home, 8 outbuildings were destroyed. It comes less than a month after a fire that started in Oklahoma and spread into Kansas burned hundreds of square miles. New leadership is headed to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. President Hank Bounds named Dr. Ronnie Green to the new chancellor position. Green has overseen agriculture programs during a time of tremendous growth for the university. But the new chancellor said the best years are yet to come.
My belief is, and as I peer out into the next decade ahead, and we think about reaching the quarter-century mark now in this 21st century, that our best days are ahead of this university.
The selection of Ronnie Green brings praise from the farm all the way to the halls of Congress. Green has a background in animal genetics, worked at the Meat Animal Research Center in Clay County, and lived for a time in Sutton. Ag students at universities say Green is approachable and understands what makes the University of Nebraska unique.
And the way that he's able to relate to students and just get on our level and just talk to us about anything that concerns us. If I have a problem with the class, if I just want to chat with him, he always makes time to hear from us. And knowing that someone that loves to work with students as a chancellor is just overwhelmingly great.
Governor Pete Ricketts and Senator Deb Fischer both say they have good relationships with Green. Nebraska Farm Bureau said having someone with a clear understanding of the state's top industry is critical in leading the university forward. Demand is high and graduates is low. There's a big push for ag education in schools, and it makes sense as employers of ag industries are even hiring people outside of ag majors. NTV's Steve White fills you in on the situation and what's being done.
Career ready is a buzzword in education these days, and many schools are turning to FFA to help them with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, get excited and get on your feet.
The basketball home of the Big Red turns blue.
Taking over Lincoln with the Blue Jackets.
Once known as Future Farmers of America, officially just FFA, the organization continues to grow.
We've seen a boom in the number of high school ag education programs and high schools that want to offer ag education and FFA.
13 Nebraska schools established programs this year, 39 in the past 5 years, including Silver Lake.
A lot more people joined that figured out it wasn't just for farmers.
The community pushed it a lot. We had a lot of community support throughout the whole deal.
The state convention is part pep rally, part competition, and all career focused.
Everything from ag mechanics to livestock judging, as well as leadership skills events, which is public speaking, parliamentary procedure, ag demonstration.
Katie Nolis of Bassett has made her career choice, which will bring her back here.
I cannot wait to graduate college and be an ag teacher and FFA advisor. We have a huge shortage of ag teachers right now, so I know there's job opportunities, but it's something that I love doing.
Between new programs, teachers leaving the classroom to farm, and a large number of retirements, schools struggle to fill positions.
That's the critical need that we have.
It's not only ag teachers in demand. A USDA study says there are about 60,000 openings a year for college graduates with agriculture-related degrees, but not enough young people to fill them. There's demand for crop advisors, grain marketing, water and food scientists, and the list goes on. And that's why schools are focused on filling jobs in demand right here across Nebraska.
I grew up on my family's ranching operation, so my dream job would be to teach somewhere close to my ranch and return back and raise Herefords.
Even more remarkable about the expansion of FFA, more programs now, but fewer schools because of consolidation. Steve White, NTV News, Lincoln.
Starting an FFA chapter is not cheap, and donors have provided over $1 million in recent years. Nebraska FFA Foundation raised $300,000 this year alone through the I Believe campaign. Local schools find donors in their communities. Statewide sponsors help match those donors. The money helps in a number of ways.
We've seen anywhere from a new program just needing basic necessities in their classroom to animal learning facilities to greenhouses. Even one chapter raised funds for a memorial scholarship. So it ranges from chapter to chapter what they're using the funds for.
In McCool Junction, kids turned a vacant building into an animal science lab. And out west in Grant, they're helping kids with college scholarships. The Nebraska Hall of Ag Achievement handed out some honors earlier this week. Doris Rush, a longtime advocate for Nebraska agriculture. She's been active in Nebraska Cattlewomen and the American National Cattlewomen since 1972. Ivan Rush, Beef Extension Specialist at UNL Panhandle Research and Extension Center for 40 years. Doug Gibson, Chief Administrator and Secretary-Treasurer of the Nebraska Farm Bureau and affiliated companies from 1981 to his retirement in 2009. And Frank Johansson still lives in the dryland wheat farm his father started in an area known as Good Streak. And he's one of the founding members of the Nebraska Wheat Growers Association. And another honor goes to our very own NTV's Grow co-host Steve White. The Nebraska Grain Sorghum Board presented its annual Service Sorghum Award to Steve White as he's recognized for his support, involvement, and knowledge in working with the board to help promote sorghum and educate farmers and viewers about the crop, its virtues, and economic value to Nebraska. FFA chapters keep cropping up, and there's an effort to really get those ag educators out there, and that's all happening at the FFA convention as well. NTV's Grow co-host Steve White fills you in later on.
Hi, we're from Ward, and we love FFA.